Hello everybody, welcome to Wine World TV, the best wine show anywhere. I'm your host, Mark Fusco. Before we get started, make sure you're smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel. Every like and subscription helps build the channel. Even better, spread the word to your friends about the best wine show anywhere. So, coming right up, I've got another interview from my time at the Texas Restaurant Association back in May of 2024. I chat with Gary Campbell of Wineview, a virtual wine list for restaurants. It allows both guests and staff to make better decisions about their wine and food experience. It's also helpful with back-of-house functions as well. All right, folks, so still here at the Texas Restaurant Association show, and I don't know what order I'm putting all these little videos in, but I just finished the Japanese pavilion. But now I'm over here on the more wine-focused side of things. So I saw these guys yesterday. I thought the product's really cool. So I'm with Gary Campbell, and he's going to tell me what these guys do and how they can help a restaurant, honestly. So yeah, what do you guys? So what is your product?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate you doing this. So at a very high level, we've realized that restaurants have two main problems with wine programs.
Okay.
Staff struggle with selling their wine, because it's one of the last things you think about as a restaurant owner, staff training with wine. It's difficult. And then guests. As you come into a restaurant with, say, 300 plus bottles on the list, where do you even start? You have 5 minutes to make a decision. Go, right? So Wineviews really come together to solve that problem, and not only solve those two critical issues, but really be able to tell the story of the wine, because every bottle has a story, right?
Right, yeah. So what I was talking with them yesterday about is there's a great training aspect to that. And you also are integrated with a company called Toast, right? So
correct.
Explain, I think we'll talk about that first, and then we can talk about the nuts and bolts of Wineview itself. So what does the integration with Toast give, say, the restaurateur?
Absolutely. So a major problem with the wine programs is inventory, right? So you're constantly shifting out bottles. You run out mid-shift, distributor drops off a new case, got to change pricing. There's a lot of variables. So with the Toast integration, we pretty much are able to take that central source of truth and bring it all over to our interactive list, which is here, right?
All right, yes.
So as I run out of bottles or change prices, it just takes that and everything's up to date. So there's no more reprints, there's no more guests ordering 3 different bottles, you're out of all of them. We were talking yesterday, in obscure wine, you don't have that many bottles to begin with. So no more of that is the idea. And really, Toast's integration with us is just making the whole management of wine programs easier, in effect.
Yeah, so with this program, so you already touched upon it. So if I have the 86 mid-shift, maybe I got some obscure wine, or even a popular wine. Maybe I just didn't order enough.
Sure.
Maybe there's a convention in town of restaurant people, you know, and I'm over at Morton's. Oh, by the way, I do not talk about my current employer, but my former employers, I have no problem using them as examples. So Morton's is right down the road, like literally right down the road from here, okay? And let's say I didn't order enough Silver Oak Alexander Valley. It's one of the, or Camus Cabernet Sauvignon. 2 of the most popular wines in the country, and especially for convention goers, you know, expense account stuff. Say I didn't order enough of that, I could, on the tablet, I could just go into my system and 86 it instead of reprinting 20 books worth of, 20 pages worth of my wine list and then frantically trying to put them in the book.
Exactly. It's instant. So pretty much that saves you, especially trying to do that mid-shift. Good luck with that.
On a Saturday night.
Have fun with that. Now you just type in a 0, or if you're using Toast, you 86 it in Toast, hide it for the system within seconds.
Okay. And then I get some more in tomorrow. I just instantly put it back on without having to reprint again.
And it's back.
That's cool. I like that. I mean, not that I needed to reprint a lot of my list, but it happens. And it may be something that I talked about yesterday. Hey, if I'm only going to be out for a couple of days, I'll just leave it on the list, especially the Mortons that was here. I don't know how it is now. It's been over 5 years since almost 6 years since I worked for them. It was a pretty slow location, except when during convention season.
Sure.
This is actually a slow time of year. So you're October to like March, May, Lots of conventions come to town because it's not super hot. So so we would get hit. It could be on Monday, it could be a Tuesday, it could be a Wednesday. So you had to be careful with that.
Yeah.
So you knew which ones were coming in, and you could look at historical sales. But at the same time, if it was like a normal like Wednesday, that no big convention that would affect us, I would just be like, hey, I'll have some by tomorrow. My rep will hot shot some for me. So I'm not going to worry about reprinting everything, only to and save the old things. And yeah, so this is really cool from that aspect, that if I needed to, I could just do that.
Absolutely. And
So-
another thing
yeah.
you mentioned yesterday, I thought that was really good. You being a sommelier, right?
Yeah.
So you can know a ton of stuff about wine, but if you have, let's say, a retail location or a wine bar with 1,000+ SKUs,
Yes.
how are you? Your brain's not a computer, so
No.
you're never going to know every single label that you have. So this can also function as a search tool. Let's say someone wants something very obscure. They want a, organic Chardonnay, very specific. You can type that into the search bar, and it will pull that result for you.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go, I might have a wine like that, right? So
Right.
it does help as well for these massive wine programs at wine bars, bottle shops, that sort of thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, I view this not as a replacement for someone like me. It's an enhancement for what I would be doing.
Correct.
Yes, if you don't have someone who's very well versed in wine, who's maybe the beverage manager or the bar manager, or maybe isn't comfortable talking with the staff about wine, you have some great stuff in there. You have like, you have some awesome information that also can be edited, correct?
Absolutely. So let's just say you have a story, which I think is so critical with wine.
Yeah.
If you have a story, why did you choose this wine in your restaurant? Maybe you met the vintner. Maybe you have a family relation, or whatever the story may be. You can highlight that yourself. So we have a database. So a lot of restaurants are like, you know what? I love this, but I want you guys to do it all, which we can.
Yeah.
And then we have others that are very passionate about specific brands, and they really want to highlight that story, which we give them the ability to.
Yeah. So like yesterday, you pulled up one of the wines, and it's a wine really well recognized.
Yeah.
And I just glanced down at the text, and the first like sentence, it said it was founded in 1344. I didn't know that. It's like, I had about 350 wines on my list. I can't know every single wine and all the stories behind it. You gravitate to what you know,
Yeah.
and then you try to sell those things. And I mean, we're all human. Even the best sommeliers don't know every single wine, but they should know a lot about the stuff. But yeah, I think it's a great tool that you can use for that. I think you were telling me that when people implement this, there's definitely an increase in sales.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what do you see across the board on that?
On average, nationwide, 18%.
Okay.
California, we just did a specific state case study. We're at 22% in that state on average. And that really comes from a couple things. One, on the staff side, and I want to make it clear, like, there's a lot of great programs. If you want to pursue being a sommelier, that's awesome. There's WSET. There's a lot of really great certs. Most servers, though, don't really plan on going to that reach, right?
Correct.
Either it's a passion thing, or it's just not for their career, whatever it may be. So our training is built to get them confident in their wine program at their location to sell it, period. So we like to say it's by servers for servers. Several people that put this together have been servers. They understand the thought process, what's needed to be known. So just having that forefront, like at the top of their mind when they go to the table, they're going to say, hey, we have a beautiful wine list, happy to make a recommendation or pairing later on, or whatever, start that conversation. And on the flip side, guests that go to a place with 300 bottles, instead of just going with, Silver Oak, which is great, they can now explore other brands and labels that maybe is a little bit more expensive. So there's a couple factors that can kind of change the script around the wine buying process.
Yeah. I mean, it's really critical with servers. I mean, I tell my servers all the time, you're not order takers, you're salespeople, right?
Yes.
If you want to be an order, and I was kind of mean occasionally. I said, if you want to be an order taker, McDonald's is hiring. This is not to throw shade at McDonald's.
Right.
But even fast food places will try to plus sell you. So, but that's the thing is like, this is a sales tool. And like you said, not every server wants to become a sommelier.
Right.
But the smart servers know that they know more about their product. They can sell more, and what happens? You make more money.
Absolutely.
So if I'm increasing my sales by 20%, hopefully my tips are increasing by 20%. Hopefully my revenue, when one of the best profit centers in the restaurant is, so not only my sales going up 20%, my profit is probably going up the same amount, or I'm getting a better profitability out of things, right?
Absolutely, and I think it's really critical too. So, there are some servers that will never engage. They're there because they don't have the passion or whatever it may be. But, we find on a lot of places, let's say with 30 servers on staff, if maybe 5 or 7 of them take it seriously, you see that impact on the bottom line. Because it's like you said, that profit margin, the ticket size, when it clicks, they go all in. And it's a really, really awesome thing to see.
And even for maybe not every server that wants to engage, but they, if I see that you're making way more money by using this, and I'm not really that great with wine, I want to make more money. Well, I either decide to not do it, or I'm like, Gary, how to make more money? What do you do?
Yeah.
Like, and you might be like, I don't know anything about wine. I just use the tool. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be someone who's knowledgeable.
Exactly.
It can be someone who's just smart at using what they have.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Cool. Yep. Anything else we didn't cover?
No, I think that's really the high level. We've gotten requests about expanding. Obviously, we're considering the craft beer scene, cocktails, spirits, bourbon, and whiskey, just as complicated. So there's a lot of growth in the future, but we've been super pleased to see just across the country, if people come to us, go, my staff, they don't know wine, how do I do this? And it's really cool to see the adoption of technology. It's like you said, I think you hit on a very important point. A lot of people look at this like, whoa, this is taking my place. Absolutely not. We're the nurses to the doctor, the paralegal to the lawyer. We're there to supplement and make beverage directors, sommeliers, and everyday waiters' lives easier. So that's
awesome. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. With everything here, you'll have links below everybody's information for contacting them. But I thought it was a cool thing to kind of chat about. I've seen these types of things over the years, but I've never actually met the people who do these things. So this was really cool.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right.
So that's going to do it for today's show from the TRA. If you enjoy what I'm doing here, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe, and then tell your friends, and we'll see you next time.